Mysterious historical influences, the Knights of Promethean Flame. These people on my wall have inspired me, if not directly, then through the thinkers they influenced. On down the line, the power of their thinking has turned the wheel of thought, whether through great deeds as the courage to speak out against evil, or as great authors, philosophers, scientists, and artists. They have armed us with truth and brotherly virtue. The Knights of Promethean Flame. A secret society has always existed, since the beginning of time. The Knights of Promethean Flame stole the power of the gods in the form of a flame which must never be extinguished. This eternal flame must be preserved at all costs until the beginning of our story, the end of time itself, in our version of it. We see a technician hard at work, tuning in on his communication equipment to a long-vanished signal. He is reflecting a beam of coherent particles off of a target and then hearing the results in his earpiece. The only difference between his job and a submarine sonar officer's is that he is using Higgs particles instead of sound, and his target is a long-dead Earth human lost in the mists of time. Soon the operator picks out a strong signal from the jumble of noise and speaks into the microphone while adjusting various controls. They have brought us to think beyond our own tiny lives. entertained and educated us. From great reformers to rebels to outrageous comedians, from the greatest thinkers of our time to stubbornly tenacious and dogged German idealists, a complete list of philosophers can never seem to be done. As my knowledge expands, new names keep cropping up. Forgive me if your favorite is not present here. He has established contact with a person back in time and will bring him into the Knights as a new recruit. The man on the other side of this communication is unaware of the nature of the operator or his location, and instead hears a voice in his head talking to him. He sits up in bed and stares around him, shouting out, "Who is there? What is it?" "It is I, your guide and confidant," the voice replies. And the man to join the Knights sees a faintly glowing dot or blur near the southwest corner of his ceiling, and looking closer, sees the ghost of a large spider hanging by its silver thread in the near darkness. "What are you, spider spirit? Why do you haunt me?" The man is alarmed and terrified by the ghost from the end of time. The question should be, who are you, my good man? Or who will you become in the pages of history yet to come? Soon the man is convinced by kind words and tidbits of future knowledge to trust the operator in the guise of the spirit spider god. his salt as a writer of novels, but most especially poetry, is a philosopher of some kind. To tell the tale you must have a point to sell, a moral to the fable. To me the pursuit of science in the laboratory is akin to philosophy, the willingness to test the theory, the act of faith. Even the atheist is willing to stake his time in the bet he is right in his assumptions. To test those assumptions is the courage of self-love or faith in oneself. true philosophers, from Wordsworth, Coleridge, Shelley, to authors such as Verne, Wells, Orwell, Huxley, and Kipling and Doyle. Faulkner, Clemens, Emerson, Thoreau, James, and Shaw are all notable Americans. Kant, Schopenhauer, Hegel, and Kierkegaard, the German philosophers.
no consequences for one of them. A culture as old as 5 complete cycles of creation and destruction has colonized our universe, and holds us in its thrall. Dick has lost his girl in the event, termed unbounce, during which mass and energy are exchanged between the two brains involved. He is sent on a wild adventure through the lattice, and must find evidence of the famed Sintamani stone and artifacts made from the stone. Dick has found the key to a map among manuscripts kept at an eternal library on the astral plane, and must follow the clues to solve a different mystery, involving his favorite collectible, I Heart. Through trials and tribulations, danger and self-discovery, he learns the path he must take to solve the mystery of his.
The 3 versions of this particle are all part of a 3D torus modus variation as seen in 11 space.
Its mass varies with the torus shape. How is a Higgs boson produced in an experiment involving relatively low energies?
We are capturing an energy beam from the future.
Age of universe, 13.75 plus, minus 0.11 billion years. Expansion rate, 70.5 plus, minus 1.3 km/s/mpc. 4.56% ordinary baryonic matter leptons, quarks bosons.
22.8% cold dark matter CDM70, 2.6% dark energy in the form of a cosmological constant. Dark solitons are coming to flatten the universe.
Our hero Dr. Garth Wallace is at his mentor's BC lab at Triumph Synchrotron Extension Building, UBC. He also has a tank in a mine. The mine is drained periodically to work on equipment and is located 2 kilometers down in Nanaimo, BC.
There is a sub down in the tank as well for working on equipment when the tank is full. It is 5 kilometers tall and the size of 3 or 4 basketball courts.
The experiment is carried out on 2 scales, one large, one small. A particle counter scans the relationships between brains and 11 space.
A particle is emitted, travels through a conduit with vacuum chamber absorbed by detector, re-emitted and sent back to emitter to be counted.
This is my blog, Brain Damage, a story of the multiverse, time travel, and foam. There is a large cold spot on the W-map image of the universe. This could be evidence left over from a collision with another dimension. In both brains, time seems to run in the same direction, from cause to effect, from Big Bang to heat death of the universe.
Where is Roger now? That is what I would like to know.
Well, he is in space, of course. He is an alien after all.
He is not a real alien. He used to be a professor at the college my cousin's young lad went to. I think it was Caltech or something.
He went to high school with my Adley's mother-in-law. That is how old he really is.
He was a professor of Jack Winters University in Ontario, Canada.
He is in space now, but more importantly, he is in our far future at the very end of time itself in this universe.
I told you he was in space.
I am sure that he is fulfilling his role as a gray alien and staying in space at the end of time, as my college was so kind as to point out.
He is a spaceman now. Went through a wormhole, we thought he was dead. I'm sure he is in space.
Space. In space.
bions can be composed of widely separated solidons. A quantum mechanical relationship can be established at an earlier time in the universe.
Long before the galactic collision, many bound soliton pairs exist with partners in the other galaxy.
Brains are associated with the solidons. Dark solidons have been produced in Bose-Einstein condensates. Are they evidence of dark energy?
They are almost not of our 4D world. When brains collide, exchanges of matter and energy can occur. Solidons and bions form and unform as the brains collide again and again.
Brains come in various sizes, from the one associated with our physical universe to those associated with tiny virtual particles, the foam.
Our universe's brain may be folded over itself, with the part associated with our galaxy colliding with the brain region of Andromeda.
The brain regions associated with each galaxy collide long before the physical galaxies collide, exchanging solidons and dark energy and mass.
On the mid-Atlantic, ridge banding indicates the regular expansion of the sea floor due to tectonic activity. More narrow bands are a mystery.
A cue ball is a type of NT8 non-topological soliton. NT8 represents an unusual coherent state of matter, Buick matter, e.g. dark matter.
A change in topology is called a modus variation. A modus variation in the brain may be related to the presence of dark energy.